Hey, I was just rewatching some Star Wars movies. I grew up with the original trilogy. Man, were they awesome. But when the prequel trilogies came out, I kinda hated them. I kept rolling my eyes and questioning the plot devices. Like, who thought Jar Jar was a good idea? Did Anakin really have no father? And why the heck does Grievous have a cold?
Are you kidding me? This baby is off the charts. Why?
Eye rolling.
Detector. Oh, that's a really useful invention.
Even the sequel trilogy failed to recapture that Star Wars magic for me, so coming into Fallen Order, I was really worried that I'd hate it. You play as Cal Kestis, survivor of the Purge that killed almost all the Jedi. He's been hiding as a scrapper and keeps finding himself in some crazy scenarios as he climbs, shimmies, and slides through the environment. Eventually, he runs into some new friends in this hologram, and to your surprise, the potential fate of the Jedi Order is left in your hands. It's surprising because it shows that there can be no thick Jedi. So many areas can only be accessed by cramming Cal through these tiny holes and cracks in the wall. There's no way a full-figure Jedi could do this. Anyways, in order to succeed, you'll have to master a few skills: combat, cartography, and the Force.
This is the way.
Cal starts his adventure with a lightsaber, but since his master died when he was only a young Padawan, he hasn't really had much training. You'll need to find these save points where you can spend levels to upgrade as you slowly repair your connection with the Force. Oh, that sounds easy enough. I'll just keep grinding XP off all these mobs. Besides, I like how fluid the combat is. Oh, look, there's this boss frog thing hiding in a cave on the first level. I bet he gives a lot of XP. That is, if he would stop killing me. Okay, look, this game gives you 4 difficulty levels, and you can switch between them during your run. The easiest level, story mode, is really easy and makes you feel like a Jedi rock star. Or maybe you're into a serious challenge and want to try Jedi Grandmaster.
No. 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 You are God.
Nah, I chose Jedi Knight, and between you and me, some of these fights really kick my... No, I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me. I'll do better if I can stop taking damage with my face. BD1 can heal me when I have a brief moment, but it's hard to rely on this in battle, and much better to master dodging and jumping out of the way instead. Okay, I think I have dodging figured out. I should also learn how to time my blocks. When the enemy flashes red, you have to dodge, but everything else can be blocked, and with good timing, you get a chance for some devastating counters. Great, combat is super satisfying now that I know how to block and dodge. I'm ready for my next objective. Wait, wasn't I just here before? Did I just go in a circle? What's that, BD1? I've been staring at this map for 20 minutes! Right, let's talk about cartography. BD1 offers a very convenient and somewhat confusing map to help track your position. It's convenient because it clearly marks yellow areas that you can explore, as well as green and red things that you can and can't access respectively. It's confusing because the map gets really big, intricate, and complex. Many hidden and secret paths have unlockables, like cosmetics for you, BD1, your ship, and even your lightsaber, but there's also more useful upgrades, like getting more stims for BD1 to carry, getting the ability to hack doors and droids, and even upgrades for your lightsaber, transitioning from single to double bladed. As you explore, you'll face some puzzles which require some surprising solutions, and I was impressed by the unique ways they incorporated the various Jedi skills you'll unlock. Which brings us to your super convenient Force abilities. Cal will eventually learn how to do some pretty standard moves, like a Force push, pull, and time slow, but he also has this rare ability to read Force echoes. That is, he can relive the moments of a person's past by finding some object they've left behind. This typically opens up some new codex entries which add depth to the world and story, but also gives you some XP and can even increase your max health and force. Some of the information you learn from Force echoes and scans is just for lore and plot progression, but scanning enemies will actually give you some sweet details about their attacks and what to look out for. By the end of the game, I really felt like I was following several stories and their outcomes. I actually grew fond of Grease, for example, and legit loved BD1 and his story arc as well. Now, despite how much I enjoyed the game, there were a few things which kind of annoyed me, like how some plants and obstacles act like invisible walls.
Oh, tough guy, huh?
Also, some enemies are super dumb. Like, check this out. These guys are basically watching me eviscerate their colleagues. Sometimes this happens intentionally, since this guy might only spring into action during a scripted event, like getting close enough to him. But other times, the enemies are just populated in weird places and don't react the way you would expect from highly trained clone soldiers or feral beasts. And despite Jedi sneaking around in movies, you can't really do that in this game. This isn't a big deal since I actually enjoyed the combat, and you can technically avoid some fights by running past, but true stealth stealth is not really an option. If you love story-driven games with a satisfying power creep and tons of cosmetics and secrets to find, then you might love Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If you hate revisiting old areas or have trouble with linear levels that constantly expose you to set battles and difficult puzzles, then you might not like what this game provides. Beating the game opens up a new game plus mode, as well as some cosmetics. You also unlock a combat challenge where waves of enemies fight you, and a custom battle mode where I can create my own scenario and manipulate things like removing factions between enemies, granting infinite health or force power, and more. And remember, this was a quick and dirty review of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Wait, this is the channel you're looking for. Check out some of my other videos and sub to keep up to date with my posts.